I see a lot of filmmakers arguing about what should be your first cinema camera if you're just starting out. What is the best camera to start off with? If you ask me, the short answer is there is no short answer, which I know is kind of annoying, but there's just too many different kinds of jobs that require different features. It really depends on what kind of work you're looking for. But in all of these conversations, there does seem to be one camera that's always in the equation. A good starter cinema camera has a low entry cost, but ideally gives you a lot in return. So maybe you're getting a lot of features, enough to give you a wide training ground to learn as much as possible about camera operation and imaging. And hopefully you're even getting the quality that would allow you to take on your first couple professional jobs. The Pocket Cinema series from Blackmagic has long been a mainstay for low budget and indie filmmaking, and the Pocket 6K Pro is the newest and most advanced of the group. But more importantly, it's the most complete camera package so far because of the addition of the upgraded battery, internal NDs, and a tilt screen. The camera benefits greatly from being rigged up and upgraded with other pieces of gear, but you can also take the raw camera body and shoot just fine, which is something you can't say as easily with the other cameras in the Pocket line. What all of its brothers and sisters do have in common, however, is incredible image quality, and the 6K Pro is obviously no different. Let's start there. This is my fourth video in a row covering Blackmagic image quality, and I'm happy to report the story is still the same. The image quality coming out of the Pocket 6K Pro is among the best. In my opinion, the color science is magnificent, and Blackmagic film is super easy to grade and really easy to get a fantastic image out of. 6K is a really high resolution, so of course your frames are going to look very sharp, but I wouldn't say too sharp. Detail is managed well, avoiding the razor-sharp video-looking image and leaning closer towards the unfortunately buzzwordy film look. Dynamic range and highlight roll-off are both fantastic, as to be expected. In case you're looking for exact measurements, CineD clocked this sensor at about 12 stops of dynamic range at a signal-to-noise ratio of 2, and about 13 stops at a signal-to-noise ratio of 1. The story is a familiar one, and that's a good thing. There's also a really great selection of I/O with the Pocket 6K Pro. We have 3.5mm mic and headphone input, full-size HDMI, USB-C, a 12-volt power input, and 2 mini XLR inputs. You'll need an adapter if you're trying to run full-size XLR into the 6K Pro, but the addition of the mini ports in the first place is amazing. There's also a metal contact on the bottom of the camera that allows for a battery grip extension that adds 2 extra Sony MPF batteries, which Blackmagic says will give you up to 3 hours of extra recording. Also, if you are interested, there's an additional EVF that you can buy and install into the top of the camera. I used it and it was really lovely, but definitely not required while operating the camera. My favorite new feature that comes with the Pocket 6K Pro is internal neutral density filters. I am a huge fan of having internal NDs, and it's most of the reason why I use a cinema camera instead of mirrorless cameras whenever I can. As soon as you use a camera with internal NDs, it becomes really hard to go back to anything else. The new NDs work in 2-stop, 4-stop, and 6-stop increments, and they are truly lovely. The other new headline feature is the super bright tilting screen, and I have to say I love this addition as well. In the past, the Pocket line has used fixed screens, which can be hard to operate at different angles. I loved using this screen, and it made shooting a breeze, even in broad daylight. Hand-holding this camera is a little bit different than other cameras, but I never had too much of a problem with it. I think the hand grip, especially with the battery extension, is very comfortable, and I actually was impressed with the overall handling experience. The buttons are placed in logical locations, and the camera is weighty enough with the battery grip and a decent lens for handheld operation without too much visible shake. Like I said, I think the camera will shine brightest when rigged up to add extra weight, but stripped down to the essentials, it performs really well. So I guess the question is, where does the 6K Pro line up in Blackmagic's current ecosystem, and is it a good investment? We're talking $2,500 new on B&H for the Pocket 6K Pro. The 6K G2 is like $1,600. It keeps going on sale, so it might be less than that. And the 4K is right under $1,300. If you need the cheapest option, or you need to use micro four thirds lenses, 4K is going to be your move. If you need to use EF and you don't mind doing a little bit of rigging, then go with the 6K G2. If you want the best of the best, you want to keep your rig simple, then the 6K Pro is going to be your option. So they all still have their own little spots in the ecosystem, but they complement each other pretty well. I think I would agree with those that say that the 6K Pro is a great investment as your first cinema camera or your newest cinema camera. It's just great right out of the box. And as you move forward in your career, you can add more to it and sort of build out your camera package to be more professional. If you need autofocus or you need a really tiny setup, then maybe there's other options that are better. But if you have 2,500 bucks and you're looking for the best possible image, I just don't know if there's anything better.